Hello YouTube, Chris Worden. Today's video is bounce back loan fraud. What is it? Now, just to remind you, YouTube channel is here designed to answer your questions when it comes to UK insolvency. The insolvency world can be an absolute minefield. It's really important that if your business is facing difficulty, is you understand A, where you're at, and B, what your options are, and don't walk into something blindly. So back to today's video. Oh, by the way, please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our videos. Give us a like, give us a comment, get us boosting up those YouTube rankings. So today's video is bounce back loan fraud. What is it? I mean, we keep hearing that term in the pub, in the press, at work, bounce back loan fraud. But actually, what is bounce back loan fraud? Now, there's been a helpful distinction by the Cabinet Office recently, and they're sort of separating bounce back loan fraud into two classes. There's soft fraud. Now, the operative word there is fraud, okay, but it's classed as a soft fraud, and there's also hard fraud. Now, we're not sure how these are going to be tackled, but let's see what examples fall into what category. So a soft fraud, it has been stated that when a business or a person has inflated their turnover in order to get a bounce back loan. So for instance, you know, you could have been entitled to apply for a bounce back loan, but because you could only get 25% of your turnover in 2019, let's say you turned over 50 grand, but you applied for 50 grand. Now, listen, we know there are people out there that have done that. I've had conversations with lots of people who have done this. So what they should have took is 12,500, but they took 50,000. Well, that's going to be classed as a soft fraud. Again, the operative word is fraud, but it's classed as a soft fraud. So what's a hard fraud? Well, a hard fraud is more when it's been a bit more premeditated and on a large scale. So some of those examples are, you know, impersonating a person or a company in order to get a bounce back loan, getting multiple bounce back loans from different lenders, using people to get a bounce back loan, and then taking the money off them, giving them a small fee and telling them to liquidate or go bankrupt. Listen, I've physically heard a story like that. Although it's not clear on what the ramifications are going to be just yet, and the main thing is it can take sort of 6 to 12 months to get to court. But here are what the issues and the fines and consequences are likely to be. You know, confiscation orders. Listen, if you took a bounce back loan fraudulently, you've used it to buy a house, well, the court's going to go to try and get that house back. Listen, there will be imprisonment. Some of the larger widespread frauds will no doubt end in prison sentences for people. There'll be director disqualifications. In fact, we're seeing director disqualifications come through now, ranging from 3 to 15 years. Fines, civil recovery orders, civil penalties. I'll tell you what I am seeing a lot at the moment. When people who have took too much of a bounce back loan, they know that they've taken too much. Let's say they took 50 and they should have took 30. Well, their advice is, listen, pay the £20,000 back quickly. And that's what I've been saying to people who have obviously inflated their turnover for taking too much bounce back loan. There will be civil settlements. Listen, this is not going away. It's not going to be swept under the carpet. It is public money at the end of the day. If you have an issue with your bounce back loan, if you are unsure, if you have any questions, it's really important you take advice early. The earlier you take advice, the more options that you may have available. Listen, I hope you found this useful. I'm going to drop in the comments section some examples of where prosecutions for bounce back loan fraud has taken place so far. Listen, subscribe to the channel, give us a like, give us a comment, boost us up those rankings. Thank you very much.